Hello, investors. This is Connor Bates, Associate Portfolio Manager with Revere Asset Management. Today is Friday, May 16th, 4:52 p.m. Eastern Time. Coming to you with tonight's Revere Roundup Daily Market Insight video. Market state, we're in a confirmed uptrend since that fall through day. And if we take a look at trend gauge over here, market leaders, they are plentiful right now in grow mode. Short term, we're riding above that 21 EMA, medium term above the 50-day, which hooked back up. And then long term, we're above that 200-day. Would like to see that hook up a little bit more to get that full green arrow, but almost four coveted green arrows. We have three right now, and that could be changed into four anytime soon. So what happened today? Well, the S&P 500 officially triggered a power trend, and if you're not familiar with what that is, in just a short summary, it's a daily low above the 21 EMA for 10 consecutive days. 21 EMA closes above the 50-day for 5 consecutive days, and then the 50-day moving average is in an uptrend, and you have an up day. Todd did a great segment on the podcast about power trends today if you want a more detailed write-up. You know, it's never just a straight buy signal, but it's a signal that you're entering in a very strong trend and the possibility to make some good returns and make some money in these periods. The one from 2023, we stayed above the 21 EMA for over like 6 months. So we'll see. And you got to pair that in with the Zweig breath thrust. So a lot of things lining up for the bulls. 21 over 21 list up 1.43%, 16 green, 5 red, big 8 up 0.6% on the day, RG8 up 1.26% on the day, 60/40 stock and bond up 0.32%, GROTECTION up 1.07%, TurboTection up 1.20. Let's get into the interasset correlation. Alrighty. Chart of the S&P 500 and just really strong week for the bulls, right? Just, 5 days, just continuing higher, just great action, higher highs, not breaking lows, and just really clean action, trending up the right side. Could we use a handle? Yeah, maybe. But, we're strong right now, so don't fight the trend. Coming into the 6,000 level, so perhaps rally up into that 6,000 level and then maybe form a handle. But for now, power trends on. We're above the 8/21/50 200 day. We are certainly in bull mode right now. And you can see back above all the weekly moving averages as well. And the 60-minute just shows a good picture. Since that low here, just kind of building higher lows the whole way up. Stochastic's a little bit overbought up here as well, but there's nothing really bearish about this chart. 6,000's next spot, and then obviously these previous all-time highs at 61.47. RSP continuing higher above the 200-day moving average. QQQ, again, power trend on the NASDAQ as well, looking very good. Super strong week for the bulls on the indexes and just great action across the board in stocks as well. Mag 7 flagging here. Dow Jones reclaiming the 200-day. UNH got a bounce, probably helping the Dow. Mid caps back above the 200-day. This is another really good sign to see that breadth expand with mid caps, small caps, ARC, just the whole RG8 complex. And Russell 2000, although below the 200-day, this is breaking out of a nice little daily flag formation. ARC continuing higher up this cup. Maybe this handles out. Leaders continuing higher, good action there. VIX continues to flush out 17.24 close, and that's potentially could bounce down here, but again, anything below 20 is good action for the bulls. Dollar kind of holding above 100 here, kind of putting in a big undercut reclaim this left side level. Gold sitting at the 50-day moving average. Is this going to hold and rally back up or reject the 21 and 300 level? GDX trying to hold at the 50-day. Silver in a big range. Bitcoin, again, super tight. This one looks like it really wants to break out sometime soon. Just, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days of extremely tight action above the 8. Really good. Looks good. If this can start to break out, get some volume, and look at that volume dry up as well. Bonds kind of in no man's land here. TLT, same thing, maybe trying to find a bottom here. Rates obviously rejected these left side highs, and same thing right here. That's the interasset correlation. Let's take a look at the tape. Let's see, percent of stocks above the 5-day moving average. A little bit overbought into that, 85, 90 area. So sometimes that could coincide with a little market pullback. Maybe that coincides with a little handle digestion in the indexes. Um, Fear and greed back up to 71. Greed. News today. Don's had a great appearance on IBD Live, talked about some rules, talked about our process at Revere. It was really good. I just highly recommend, if you have access to that, to give it a watch. There were some great golden nuggets, and hats off to Don for doing that and doing a great job. Today's keys, S&P continues to hold above the 200-day, 6,000 is that next level we're watching. Q's above the 200, 530, next level of resistance. We're watching those same levels into Monday, level by level, like we have since the April lows. Day count up 5, 18 days above the 8, 17 days above the 21. And again, after that 2023 bottom, we were above the 21 for 6 months. So, 17 days above might feel like a lot, but again, it can go much longer than you think, and that works both ways. And the market can go much lower than you think. Action today just held 5,900, and it was a trend day with a really strong close at the highs. Sectors wise, biotech, healthcare, retail, builders, utilities, weakness, a lot of the commodities complex, uranium, gold, oil, semiconductors are down just a tad. GROTECTION, no trades today, 1.22 beta, 6.49%. Balance at risk. TurboTection just bought Tempest AI today, 1.26 beta, 6.09% open heat. And the bottom line, S&P 500 has officially triggered a power trend. Let's get into some charts of interest. Start with the only trade of the day, Tempest AI. This one is, medical AI name, and this had a solid earnings reaction, undercut the 200-day and closed at the highs on volume, continued higher. This was a 2-day pullback into the 8 and the 60s, the 6150 level. And I'll show an intraday to see what we're seeing, right? Pulled back off the open, held yesterday's low as well, started to round out and saw a really nice rally into the close. And in a strong market, dips are opportunities, and this one provided a pretty good opportunity today. Finished the day up 4.6%. And the setup kind of reminds me of the one in January to February. Had that initial gap up, formed a flag, and then went from, doubled from here. Kind of like big move up off the bottom, back above the 200-day, kind of flagging here. So maybe this can take a trip back to those highs. We'll see. Nevertheless, this is a recent IPO, huge monthly, weekly base. You can see some resistance up here, but above these highs, it is blue skies for this one. So that was the only trade today. Let's take a look at the 21 over 21 list from best to worst. HIMS, this is, the momentum leader of the market right now, up 10.5% on the day, first half of the 8, and just getting bought up immediately. You can just see, just super strong. Close high of the day this weekly, 3 weeks up on enormous volume. So this one is just a clear leader, high octane name. We'll see when it comes into 72.98. Maybe it handles out. And that's what I talked about in the podcast today, setup theme. There's a lot of huge cups. Are they going to handle, or are they just going to blast through those left side highs? So we'll see. But certainly a lot of charts looking like that, and we'll see that when we go through 21. Cart with solid day up 3.5%. Dutch Brothers, another big cup, just continuing higher. This one's got a really nice, this is on the verge breaking out of this IPO base from 2021. This one looks good weekly, looks really good as well. Spotify on the verge breaking out from this pretty clean base here broke 6621.2 out of the double bottom base, now come back to those highs. Zscaler, total lockout mode. We're seeing that as well. This broke out, and just, not many opportunities if you didn't buy around the 200-day or if you didn't buy the breakout. Cybersecurity is an extremely hot sector right now. Tesla continuing higher. Great close on this one today, up 2.09%. And again, can't really ask for more. Maybe this handles, or maybe this just digests a little bit, let the 8 and 21 catch up. But again, not a whole lot to comment on these charts. They're trending really nicely, and don't fight the trend. Uber continuing higher. This one looks like it's, got a strong, bright future, breaking out of this big base. You could argue this is a double base on base pattern and spout new highs. Robinhood, super nice, similar to some of these other charts with these big cups. See if this handles out. Netflix, new highs again, really strong action. Can't really ask much for more. Palantir can back tested those 125.41 previous highs, getting super tight. This one looks really good. Bitcoin covered that. Guidewire just getting tight under these highs. Carvana again holding up at the highs. Chewy, new highs continuing higher. CRS, great action into new highs out of this base breakout. GV starting to handle. This one looks really good. Handle out here. This is one of the, again, fits that chart setup, chart theme that I've been talking about. TMDX, good action after earnings, continues to trend higher. Boeing, trending higher after the space breakout. Duolingo, pulling back to the 8, got ants at that profit zone, but again, strong here. Toast, backing off this like 44 area. Avgo, one of the semi leaders, kind of pulling back to the 8. Let's take a look at NVIDIA. Again, nice little digestion here. There's a ton of charts right now, tons of leaders. There's a bunch of leading groups. Now you got semiconductors participating. You have crypto with IBIT, MSTR, Hood. You have cybersecurity with Rubrik, Okta, CrowdStrike, Zscaler. Power generation names, GEV, VST, even Oklo, more speculative, but this had a strong earnings reaction. You have medical names, right? TMDX, Tempest. So, there's a lot of themes right now. There's a lot of action, and it's a good time to be a bull. We'll take a look at, here's a perfect example back here. This was when 2023, when we got those fall through days off the lows and then triggered the power trend. We went from November of 2023, all the way up until April before breaking the 21 briefly and then reclaimed. So, these trends can last for a lot longer than you think. And then coupling that with action of the leaders. Yeah, I mean, this looks fantastic. And when you look at the NASDAQ as well on this pullback, one sec, reset this site. There we go. A lot of money was flushed out because we came all the way back to 2021 highs. So think about it this way. At this point, the NASDAQ had done nothing since those 2021 highs. And now we're obviously 20% plus off the lows. But again, the tree was shaken and now we're back up. The market's acting much more constructive. Power trends on. So, we're just echoing our message is focus on keeping exposure into the market, focusing on the leaders and the right industry groups, and trusting the trend. There's a lot of macro guys right now in disbelief about the market, the economy, and there's only one thing that pays, and that is price, and that's what we follow at Revere. So that is everything I got for you guys today. Always love to hear from you guys. You can email me at connor@revereasset.com. You can always reach out to me on Twitter at ConnorJBates_, or you can give us a call at 855-REAL-WEALTH, 855-732-5932. And if you're ever interested in becoming a client, as always, please reach out. No better time than now to become a Revere client. Hope you guys have an awesome weekend. Thanks for watching, and see you next week.